Yeah, so initially how it began was I used to read a lot about the Silk Road, the old Silk Road that kind of spanned through the the Middle Ages, from China all the way till Rome, and that's how it used to go. And I used to be very fascinated reading about it, and I knew the kind of journeys that people would undertake into getting something as simple as silk from one corner of the world to the other. And I always wanted to write a story set on the Silk Road, but slowly that idea kind of changed to I want to write something that is set in a kind of an imaginary version of the Silk Road. And my biggest gripe with the Silk Road was that, oh my God, like people are like taking forever to go from one place to another to get things across. And I was like, what if I can eliminate that distance altogether? Right? That was like the first crack of idea that came for the spice gate. Like, what if people can go from one place to the other in the blink of an eye, but there is still conflict there? Like there needs to be some portion of society that is getting oppressed and getting this done. And that is where Amir came into the picture. And that is where Karim Bhai came into the picture. And that's how like the Spice Gate was born. And I knew that, you pass through one gate, you cross millions of miles, and you end up in a whole different kingdom, which very few people can see. So each kingdom is producing one particular spice. So I haven't described I would say the topology or the geological nature of each kingdom. That would get a little boring. But each kingdom is such that they can produce only that one particular spice, and that kind of keeps the world in a sort of equilibrium, right? So because you need all the eight spices for your daily life, so you're in a way dependent on all the other seven kingdoms for your food. So that is like the equilibrium on which the world is based. Eight kingdoms, each producing one spice, so eight spices. So yeah, that's the world in a nutshell. Saffron is where Amir is born, right? Or Amir grows up in the kingdom of Saffron. And saffron was interesting for me to choose because in real world, saffron is supposed to be the rarest and the most expensive, right? It's very difficult to get hold of saffron. Even like a small gram of saffron costs a truckload of money. So I wanted to kind of put Amir into such a society where he is a lowborn, and I wanted to explore that. So saffron is one. There's turmeric, which is the spice of Halmora. And turmeric, even in the real world, has a lot of controversy surrounding it. Like people misuse it in medical uses, but it's great in food, things like that. So turmeric was one. There's cinnamon, which is just delicious. You put it in all sorts of desserts, and you put it in all sorts of your food stuff. So there's cinnamon that plays a very key role. So these three spices, which is saffron, turmeric, and cinnamon, are frequently used. Besides that, there is ginger, there's nutmeg, there's cardamom. What else am I missing? Black pepper. So yeah, I mean, bunch of these spices that pepper this world, you can say. I just wanted like a portal which looked old and ancient, and I knew that it was activated if you sprinkle some spices on it. So that was the magical part. Where if you sprinkle, as I mentioned before, there were eight kingdoms, each producing a certain spice. You sprinkle or throw a certain spice into the gate, and you then follow it in. You go to that kingdom that produces that spice. So yeah, that was like the very basic dynamic of how it works. I think the most important thing is for supporting characters to be protagonists of their own life. I would say for sure that is something that is there, but it's just that in any novel, usually they just get lesser screen time or lesser uh, oof kind of actions, right? Like they don't do the heroic stuff, rather they do the supporting heroic stuff. But yeah, they need to have their own goals, they need to have their own ambitions. Often it helps if it helps the tension in the story if they are sometimes in opposition to the main character and not always just going with them. The main character needs to be challenged in his beliefs at all times, and who better than your supporting character, someone who you believe and trust but you find suddenly at odds with. So that causes for some great intrigue.